Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first video over here on Black Clover Mobile. This has been a weird release. So they were originally planning on releasing this game globally, but they had like a soft launch inside Canada and New Zealand pretty much like 3 months ago, like 2 months ago or so. So I was waiting for the global version. I have stared at the Canada version in the Play Store for so goddamn long. And the global version drops, and it turns out you can't play if you're from Canada or New Zealand because they're trying to reduce the load on the servers. That's as far as I know. And so I hopped on the Canadian server. Unfortunately, that means I'm not gonna be able to do any PvP, any co-op, anything like that that does come out for this game. With people that are on the global server, but I do think that there's such a cool foundation here. So I closed Chrome for the first time in the longest. So we're gonna go ahead and crank the options right up to max, and we're gonna see how it goes. We're going right up to ultra. We will just rock on with it. I'm also finally gonna change my power saving mode thing, and we're gonna have the full version of alts. I'm gonna show you guys what this game is all about, and we'll probably end up watching like a proper movie of the cutscenes of this game in a video probably during this week, because I've done pretty much the first 2.5 chapters, and it has been so cool to see an actually 3D animated, fully realized version of these fights. Because there's so many of these games that just do the most basic ass versions of things. So I'm going to show you guys the gameplay. We're going to go ahead and hop in here. Let's just do the one that's before this, actually. Actually, I might be able to do... Here, I'll do the 8400 of this one and not worry about it too much. I think I should be all good. And I should be okay. Cool. Perfect. Lower than recommended amount, not a big deal. I have Yami on my team, Charlotte. I have Raiya, which is supposed to be liar, because this whole thing is lying. And I have... I believe her name is Sylvie? I have to check her again, but the lab coat girl, who is absolutely best girl. Sally. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, no, I have been really enjoying rotation of this, and I got really lucky on my first pulls. And so we have the defense debuffer in Charlotte over there. Sally is a complete support unit, and so I'll just be running her pretty much to buff my other characters. I use her ult because it increases the attacks for 2 turns of all characters, and it's pretty much okay. Look at this! Oh, you know, it's a cool style. In terms of cutscenes, I don't really like the lack of backgrounds, but it does save them the effort of animating like a full-scale, really elaborate thing, and so I hope that means they could drop more units in the future that have ultimates with much fancier animations than that as well. I saw the animations for Black Asta this week, and it was crazy. But there's a reason. So the way that this game works, you connect 2 of your characters together as support, and when you use the top right ability, it'll use the synergy attack between the 2 of them on the enemies. Now, the version I currently have has both Yami and Raiya's version, and so they do a double AoE that often kills most enemies. And so I've kind of been running this as my main farming team, and it's been pretty reliable so far. Obviously, when harder content does come around, it's not going to be the sort of thing I can cheese out. And so I'll probably end up pairing Sally with Raiya, because he synergizes with having buffs. So you can kind of work around things, and it seems like they've released pretty much one of every character you would expect to have seen in Tokyo Ghoul Break the Chains in this game as well. So... that's so cool. They do a good job of animating it. But this game has the same sort of stuff that Break the Chains does. So Incapacitate and Stun are both like traits inside it, which are like cancel the enemy's attack for the turn. Bleed is obviously it's just a thing that exists. They call it Blood Piercer and Break the Chains, but Bleed is like the version from Grand Cross. So yeah. Here, what we actually might do is just do this so that you guys can see the HP bars too. I'm probably just gonna do the AoE. So there's the AoE, which you can see like the cone in front of him, or there's the single target that synergizes with having buffs on him. but we're gonna do that. And honestly with Yami, I feel like it's not worth it to use the ult until we get to the boss fight, so we're just gonna hope that we don't get hit too hard here. So maybe Sally and Charlotte can actually kill them. It seems kind of viable. They're like supporters, but they still do damage. Almost. Ah, almost killed both. All right, that hurt like a motherfucker. Oh my god, that was 8,000 damage. Glad I have like a good HP build on my support. So we're gonna do the AoE defense debuff on everyone. And then, pretty much we're just gonna go right for... Oh wait, no, this is actually different. So the combined attack between Sally and Charlotte would incapacitate an enemy. I don't really want that right now. We'll just do the AoE. I don't care too much about Raiya dying, so you can honestly feel free. I think I'm just gonna do the double AoE with the two of them and see how well that does. Fortunately, he actually might kill Raiya this turn. Sally's close, but not dead. Oh, she got shot. Oh, she got shot super hard. Okay, we're killing this guy. I don't give a shit. He's gone. And we're probably just gonna do the 2 single target attacks then. She gets an extra attack. I'm not gonna use her ult because I want to see the other 2 attacks. I don't have his ult. Damn. Yeah, let's use this one. Yeah, so literally Raiya is using the same exact attacks that Yami does because his power is stealing abilities. So it's really cool to have like 2 darkness characters on the field and kind of just like nuking. I've been really enjoying it, and it feels like I'm actually like running a team that I want to use because I liked Raiya a lot through the arcs in the original like early parts of Black Clover. He was just kind of written really fun, and he felt like the guy who didn't want to be there at all. And so among like Veto, which is like the despair shitlord who wants to fight, he's like the Kenpachi almost, but he is a Kenpachi that thrives off of your negative emotions. That is not what Raiya is. Raiya is like a lazy dude who's just following the person that he appreciates. It's really cool. It's all very like loose dynamics, but it makes me really like the antagonist inside Black Clover, honestly. I think I can actually do... Yeah. So if I get 30k more, I can get my first UR today. So that's kind of what my goal is. We're currently on the 3rd day of my battle pass. So I'm just kind of working through the early parts of this to be able to start understanding it. I don't know how much content I see myself making on this game, mostly just because it doesn't seem like it lends itself super well to it. But there is always the way of rewatching the old cutscenes. It's not here though. This is the mages and glossary and stuff. By the way, hell of a cool character. I hear the top characters in the game are like this jobber red Asta with like an extra, like actual kendo sword, and the swimsuit Noelle. Which this is your meta. You have to respect it. Honestly, I am looking too closely at those beads. I'm walking away. People were also telling me that Lotus is also very high key. I don't even remember who it was. That's Nozel. Who is Lotus again? Because people kept on like tagging me saying that he is one of the better ones. Is it him? Yeah. Wait, his last name like reminds me way too much of whatchamacallit. I'm just gonna call him whatchamacallit from now on. Lotus is now whatchamacallit. But I've gotten pretty good collections so far. Unfortunately, I did pull the Charmy, which I never want to use ever, but she's here, so I guess I'll have to use her at some point. Okay, so I'm just kind of wandering around the Black Bull's hideout. It's basically like your tavern inside this game. I feel like there must be some sort of TV around here or something that lets you watch it. I haven't personally found it, but I plan on finding it before we do the next video. Fortunately, I'm just clueless as to where to find it, and I wasn't able to find it in glossary either. Let me know if you guys have spotted it just yet. But I claimed my AFK income, and so that means we're gonna go ahead and hit UR with my Yami, and we'll be able to just go ahead and rock along with it. Let's go. And so this game, the characters, every single one of them, down to the R characters, can go up to LR. And so you can be faithful to a certain unit and get them to legendary rare no matter what. Hell yeah. And obviously, I don't have the cash monies to be able to do any of that shit. The game also has a pretty in-depth gear system that I'm basically building this Yami entirely crit damage because I want him to be able to fucking destroy. You can see I actually got an LR version of one of the equips here. And so there are going to be like super, super high-end endgame versions of equipment that you're trying to grind towards, and it's just like a slow progression up towards that, and that'll be like the end game. The fact that I got this off of a chest is kind of crazy, and it's also a lifesteal thing. So I really want to get it done. Additionally, every single one of these does have a substat, so you can re-roll it, and has an upgrade system. LRs can go up to 12, SSRs and URs can go up to 8, I believe, and anything below that can only go up to 4. So it's been pretty interesting. And I do think that like the ability to reroll individual substats in this isn't like a bad call. It says it can go up by 1 to 37. I'm actually kind of down for that. Give me some good shit. Yeah, 24. Sure. And yeah, so the game is very like dense, and it's been pretty enjoyable so far. It seems like the harder game modes will end up being like this main section. So far, this is like the hardest I've found. And it's basically just every 5 stages you have a super hard boss fight, and then you get skill upgrade materials off of that. And it seems to be something that rotates every so often. So the end game, like Tower of Trials game mode in this, like the tower to climb, being the thing that gives you a bunch of materials for skill upgrades is quite nice. Inside 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, most of the time Tower of Trials is just done for the gems at like several of the floors. They're destroying my Charlotte. Here, we're gonna go up here a little bit. But yeah, no, she's not gonna be okay. I feel like I incapacitate like the guy on the side. Do any of them have... He has bleed. So bleed makes it so incapacitate will stun that turn. Here, I'm just gonna keep on adjusting my camera. I really wish I could like, record them separately, but never been able to. I think I just go for the AoE. I have faith in it. Unfortunately, I killed the incapacitate guy, but not the biggest deal. I feel like I go for the one shot on the guy I'm strong against, because red is bad against blue, but I have the green here so he can one shot the ones that I'm not able to deal with. Cool. Ow. Ow. Don't shoot her! Okay. It wasn't Charlotte. That's the important part. So now we get the AoE defense debuff. And yeah, we're just gonna AoE slash again. I have a good amount of faith in Raiya's capacity to kill the guy in the middle. And so I'm gonna go ahead. Oh no, she actually gets an extra attack here. Cool. I don't know what triggers that. It happens every so often where when a character gets a kill, they'll get a follow-up, but I don't know what triggers it. Ow. Charlotte's dead. Sally, we're probably just gonna swing at him so that we can improve the Raiya damage. We'll do the double AoE. And then... Oh, Yami didn't survive! In that case, we're relying entirely on Raiya. Alright, Raiya. You get the attack buff. Let's see what you do. Let's go! Yeah! I love how, like, the end screen as well. He did the most damage. That's so crazy, because he's not built to be the main. The final, like, beating the stage, it reminds me of, like, a Tales of games, like, post-battle splash screen, but there's always one character in the front holding it like it's a selfie. And I think that's really cute. I'm actually a big fan of it. Deadass, I actually might... I get rid of the double AoE strat so I can try and get the ult off with Yami. Nah, I'll just leave it like this. I think that's fine. We'll try and do one more stage, and then we'll kind of chill for today. I wasn't really sure how to cover content in this game as well, because, like, I don't want to just do the story and watch, like, a bunch of cutscenes of them talking around a table. That is, like, a lot of Black Clover until the actual scenes that matter. And so, like, the first chapters probably took me like 3 hours to get through the first 6 episodes of Black Clover. It's pretty much like a 1-to-1 amount of time it would take you to watch the show too. It's just you're actually playing it and you're using strategy in some kind of way. All right, we got our AoE. I don't know if that was the ideal, honestly, but I'm still fine with it. I'm just gonna pop her AoE and like burst down this whole thing. I love Charlotte though. Charlotte's like one of my favorite characters inside the show. I think Mary Leona is definitely #1 though. She is like the Dami Mommy I've always wanted, and frankly that is all that matters. Honestly, I may have a type, I will admit, but Mary Leona is definitely part of that. She's definitely a full Kenpachi, more so than Vito even. We were talking about him earlier. It's good that none of my characters died from that. I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna have faith in Raiya to take down the other guys. I'm gonna buff him this turn. Good stuff. We get the Getsuga AoE, and then we get another Getsuga AoE, which kills all of them. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of just turning Raiya into a big spear, and then using Yami as well to find the ways around struggles. It's been very fun. I like the strategy they have so far, and without the weakness gauge, it's a lot more focused around like what units do and the ways to combat certain scenarios. I haven't run into like a lot of difficulty where it's been hard enough where I have to swap to a new character entirely, but I feel like it's very likely that you're just gonna randomly be like, oh, this person's inflicting me with burn, bleed, and death. And so I need to bring like Feral to be able to, not even that, just whoever would cleanse buffs. You know what I mean. Either way, that's just kind of been Black Clover. I do find it kind of cool. You don't really default to the hideout very often. And so like, it just doesn't feel as homely as the tavern has so far. Maybe it's just I haven't spent enough time with it, but it's definitely a really high quality, good looking, solid game. And if you are a fan of Black Clover, honestly, this is a good way to kind of fill out that buffer between the anime being gone and coming back. Obviously, the manga is coming back on the 25th of December this year, and it's going to be so exciting. They ended on like the fucking most bullshit cliffhanger in the world. I'm so excited for it. For now, thank you guys for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.